Namaste everyone. So let us understand the next form in which our vital force or pran is classified, which is known as the Prana Vayu. It need not be confused with the main pran called the Mahapran. If you haven't watched my previous videos, the link to it is given in the caption below. Now, to understand the main pran better, think of the time of death. What happens when we die? Our breath stops and the pran leaves the body. And it was this pran which was acting as a magnetic force keeping the body together. And without it, the body deteriorates. Now let us understand what is Prana Vayu. In Gheranda Samhita, it is stated, Hridi Prano Vahi Nityam, which means the location of the first of the Panch Prans is in our heart center, which is between the throat and the diaphragm. Through the medium of this Prana Vayu, the lungs and the heart are maintained and our respiration and blood circulation are controlled. Any kind of deficiency or defect in this Prana Vayu, it leads to malfunctioning of our hearts and the lungs. It is also important to know that the direction of flow of this Prana Vayu is upwards, unlike Apan Vayu, which is downwards. If the Prana Vayu between the throat and the diaphragm is disturbed, it manifests as various symptoms like hiccups, wheezing, cough, headache, and pain in the eyes and ears. Now, to summarize what we have just learned, through the medium of breath, prana flows through the body. And to control the prana, we must control the breath. And we perform pranayama to control the breathing. So eventually, by performing pranayama, we are controlling the prana, our vital force, which is actually sustaining this body. Now, to understand the Prana Vayu better, we will be performing the Bhramari Pranayama, also known as the humming bee sound. For that, first we have to sit in a meditative posture, which is either a Padmasana, or we can also be in Siddhasana or Siddhyoniyasana. The hands have to be in Gyan Mudra or Chin Mudra. First, you have to relax your body completely by closing the eyes. Chin is parallel to the ground, jaws are relaxed, and lips have to be firmly closed, but make sure that there is some gap between the teeth so that the sounds can be heard distinctly. Now, from here, you have to raise your arms and bring them close to the ear by bending the elbows. Now, either you have to plug the ear with your index fingers like this, or you can also plug the ear with your thumbs like this, and rest of the fingers are placed on the face. But if you wish to challenge yourself further, you can also perform Shanmukhi Mudra while performing the Bhramari Pranayama. In Shanmukhi Mudra, you have to place your thumbs inside and index fingers come on the eyes, and the middle finger would be resting on the nose, and the ring and the pinky finger will be on the lips simultaneously. Now, this is the Shanmukhi Mudra, ideal for performing the Bhramari Pranayama. But as per your comfort, you can choose any of the three. Inhale, and as you exhale, in a very controlled manner, start to hum like a bee. Once again, as you complete the exhalation, inhale deeply. And slowly, as you exhale, start to hum like a bee. This you must repeat at least 10 to 15 times. The humming bee sound has to be very smooth, steady, and continuous. It also has to be very soft and mellow so that the brain reverberates. It's not necessary for the sound to be high, but it is important that the vibrations are felt in the brain. Now let us understand the importance of the practice of Bhramari Pranayama. It is excellent for internalizing the consciousness. First, when we practice, we listen to the sounds of our breathing. As we continue with our practice, we develop a certain sensitivity and we begin to hear the sounds of our heartbeat, even the blood flowing through our veins. And as we progress in our journey, we become one with the sound within, as if somebody is talking to us. So we move from gross to subtle, and even the subtlest sound called the Nad or the Shabad, which is a sacred sound of the universe. So in the beginning, 10 to 15 minutes of practice is sufficient. But if you are facing any mental tension, anxiety, or insomnia, then you can even increase the practice to 30 minutes. Now, the time of practice. Bhramari can be practiced early in the morning or even at midnight when the external tension is less and the internal perception is easier to understand. Practicing at these times awakens the psychic sensitivity. However, Bhramari can be practiced at any time of the day if you're facing mental tension, provided that the external surroundings are peaceful. But remember, Bhramari should not be practiced while lying down. And if you have any kind of infection in the ear, then it should not be practiced. And even people with heart diseases should not practice Bhramari with breath retention. But if you're on your healing journey, then you can practice Bhramari to speed up the healing process. It even helps us overcome throat-related ailments and gives a clarity of voice. It also produces a meditative experience by internalizing our perception and harmonizing the mind. If you enjoyed practicing this pranayam with me and if you wish to learn more, do subscribe to my channel. Hari Om.